What is going on, everybody? Today we're going to analyze the tape of the Dallas Cowboys offensive line and really get into it. To me, this unit's a pretty damn good unit. This is one of those units that when you really analyze the tape, you realize that it's a lot better than the credit that it's kind of getting. You can see plays like this where they run a split zone concept and you do a great job up front. I mean, if you guys look at the block here by the right guard and right tackle, they're going to do really nice jobs, really holding their blocks. And to me, this is part of what makes Zack Martin such a good football player. It's that grip strength that he really has as he makes contact with these defensive linemen. To hold the block there ultimately allows your running back to get out of there. Is special stuff. Very fired up to get into this tape. Let's get right into it. I want you guys to watch this play right here. You got a dual concept, and you're going to pick up 8 yards. To me, Pollard is a very good running back. When it comes to vision, when it comes to being able to recognize and read the play, he does a great job. But I also got to give credit to the rookie fullback Hunter Lipke. He's going to do a great job getting up here and making contact with this inside linebacker. Lipke, in my opinion, is one of the most underrated players on this Cowboys offense. And it's partly because he plays fullback, and fullbacks don't really get a whole lot of love. But you can see it within this play. He's going to do a fantastic job. Now, I said this is a dual concept, which means you're going to get double team blocks at the point of attack. And really, that's to process up to these linebackers. And you're going to kind of ISO out the inside guy for Lipke to get up there and make contact with. But again, to me, the vision within this play, the fact that Zack Martin gets off the double team block, gets up to the linebacker, which is the proper read, the fact that you're going to take the D tackle here and push him right back into the linebacker there, you can really just see that kind of develop between the left tackle and left guard. And of course, I love the finish here by this left guard. To me, when you double team, you want to make sure that when you get off of it and you make contact with the linebacker, that you're moving him. And he's moving him right there. That's a great job by Udoka. Check this play out. The Dallas Cowboys are going to run crunch. And this play was so close to popping for 10 yards. And sometimes it's one guy that doesn't do a good enough job. And within this play, that's kind of exactly what's going to happen. Now, if you guys have not seen crunch before, it's a very unique play. A lot of teams run it typically once or twice a game. And you can see the Cowboys definitely run this. They ran this last week as well. At least once that I can remember on the top of my head. But let's analyze this play a little bit. The part within this play is that the left tackle and the center have to go first, as well as the right tackle. And they all basically are going to go first. And there's going to be 3 guys who are essentially going to fold around and really trap. As these guys loop around and make these blocks, it also makes it harder for the linebackers to really process kind of what's going on. But the big block here is going to be the tight end on the defensive end. This is the main block that has to hit for Pollard to score a touchdown or pick up a nice amount of yards. And Schoonmaker's just not going to do a good enough job. In fact, number 94 here does a fantastic job recognizing it and really fighting through that block, ultimately pushing Schoonmaker back and being able to kind of get off the block. Again, if you guys watch this play and see how it kind of develops, the big thing to me is the right tackle really stops his guy in his tracks. He's really able to create a wall there. And Biadasz is going to get up to 57. And you can see these 3 guys are all basically sealing off the 3 guys there. And as long as Schoonmaker was able to do a better job here, the lane would have popped, right? You would have picked up at least 10 yards up until one of these safeties over here comes in and fills in and makes the play, right? But again, got to do a better job if you're Schoonmaker. Love the design of this play. It only ultimately picks up 1 yard. But again, that's the beauty of some of these plays. You know, we can look at this play and say if Schoonmaker learns how to properly block this play, the play picks up more yards. Or if you replace Schoonmaker on this one with Hendershot or Ferguson, guys that may be better blockers today. And this is part of why I think the Cowboys run game is definitely better than the average of 3 yards per attempt that they had against the Jets. Alrighty guys, I want to show you guys 2 back-to-back plays. Chuma Edoga is a pretty good left guard in my opinion, but I do think TJ Bass is better. And I'm not sure why TJ Bass hasn't started. I don't know why the Cowboys, as Tyron Smith is out, rolled forward with Edoga. Again, not that I think he's a bad football player. I just don't think he's better than TJ Bass. And I get it. Udoka's played way more snaps in the NFL, and you may feel like he gives you the better chance. But I'm telling you guys, TJ Bass is better. You get plays like this, and we'll get into some TJ Bass clips a little bit later on. But Quinn Williams gets his hands to the inside. This is a split zone to the inside. So really, if Udoka's able to get to the right side of Quinn Williams here, the play has a chance of having success. But the defensive tackle basically controls, and he's able to tackle the running back for a gain of no yards. And I know some people are going to say, well, that's Quinn Williams. He's a top 5 defensive tackle, and that's true. But as you guys will see when we get into some clips a little bit later on, TJ Bass was put in these same spots, and he ultimately was able to win his blocks. Now, here's another play in which, once again, Udoka just doesn't do a good job. And keep in mind, these are like back-to-back plays that I just saw with him, run play specifically. And to me, when I look at this play here, one of the things that you have to do is you have to recognize certain things a little bit faster. This is a power run to the left, which means you got to block down on all of these guys here. And ultimately, Zack Martin needs to be able to run out of here freely. And in this play specifically, that doesn't happen because CJ Mosley steps up. And Udoka, instead of going directly forward into him, is going to take like a step to the side. He's ultimately going to get pushed right back into Zack Martin. And because of that, Martin kind of gets held up there. And he's not really able to lead up and possibly pick off whichever guy kind of shows up first. And the play only picks up about 2 yards, right? But these are the little things that I look at when I watch the left guard here. And to me, this makes me feel like there's definitely guys that are better, in my opinion. That would be TJ Bass, that I think the Cowboys should roll forward with. And again, if they roll forward with Udoka, that's fine. I think Tyron Smith should be back regardless, but I did want to just point that out. Let's go ahead and get into the next rep. Check this rep out. Watch Tyron Smith get physical with the D tackle here and watch him put him into the ground. Watching Tyron Smith playing this season, you can tell like the guy looks healthy. The guy doesn't look stiff as he's looked in the past. Obviously, he hasn't played a full season in the last couple of seasons, but the guy's starting to kind of put it together. And in week 1, he did have a couple of losing reps, but in this past game, the guy was dominant. He did not have any losing reps that I've seen. Just a really nice job right there. Let's go ahead and get into the next rep. Watch Tyron Smith take on the wide 9 defensive end on this one. Just does a great job getting out there, makes really, really nice contact, and shuts this guy down. You know, what's most impressive to me about this play is that, first and foremost, the defensive end has a huge runway. He has so much space that he's able to get to 100% speed. And more than that, like he should be able to hit Tyron Smith with whatever move that he wants. But the Hall of Famers do Hall of Fame stuff. And what I mean by that is Tyron Smith is going to do what is referred to as a ghost move. What that means is he's going to throw his left hand up into the air. And that is going to make any defense fan think that Tyron Smith's about to punch you. He's about to make contact with you. He's about to shut you down. But really, it's a move to make you make your move. And Tyron Smith is going to bring his hands right back down. So you can see he just throws that left hand out there to throw it out there. The defensive end is going to throw a swat with the right hand to try to swat the hand. But Tyron Smith brings the hand back down. So the defensive end is just swatting air. And in that instance, he's going to lose all leverage. And Tyron Smith's going to, at that point, make great contact, clamp with the hands, and just anchor down within the rep. I mean, that's Hall of Fame stuff right there, man. That's a great, great job keeping the quarterback clean, and he delivers a really nice 20-yard pass. If anybody was wondering why rookie wide receiver Jalen Brooks made the roster, this is why he made the roster. The guy's a good run blocker. And I think with Mike McCarthy, one of the key things he needs for his offense is he needs his receivers to block downfield. He needs guys that are willing to get down there and make good contact. And to me, this is a really, really nice job. Deuce Vaughn picks up 13 yards, and partly because of the block here. As a cornerback that's covering him, you don't really know if this guy's running a route or if he's going to block someone. And because the NFL game speed is so fast, it's very hard to tell. He basically takes 2 guys out in this play, right? So it's a great job right there, and Vaughn picks up 13 yards. Let's go ahead and get into the next rep. Now, I want to just point this play out really quickly. This is 3rd and 7. If you guys watch Terence Steele, he's going to get run over by the defensive end on this one. And this was one of the concerns that some offensive line coaches that I speak to had with Terence Steele. You know, when you rush a guy back, the injury isn't going to be fully healed, right? The knee for Terence Steele right now is not 100%. For offensive linemen, it may not matter as much when it comes to that injury and to get 100% right away, because you're not cutting, you're not running downfield. You're really just going to be moving 2 or 3 yards, right? But there is one concern with ACL injuries, and that is to get the strength in order to anchor down. Have the strength to take on the power, right? Because this is not Terence Steele. Terence Steele does not get run over like this. But again, I do think that within this rep, it's going to take some time for him to really get that knee 100% healthy, really have it underneath him where he's able to take on the power. Not saying that he's going to lose 100% of the time, but sometimes he will get caught in these situations. Not a big deal. Just wanted to point it out. Let's get into the next rep. Alrighty, guys, 23-yard run by Tony Pollard, the biggest run of this game. Just a beautiful job, if you guys ask me. As you guys know, TJ Bass did come in, and you can see him do a great job on this play. Really nice contact. And right off of TJ Bass, Tony Pollard is going to pick up 23 yards. To me, TJ Bass has a lot of upside. And you guys have seen this play if you guys follow this channel. We broke down TJ Bass's tape back on Monday. But these are the type of blocks that tell me Bass is it. The helmet lands on the proper side. The butt is on the same side. Great contact. And you can see the running back that's going to just kick it right underneath that. To take it a step further, we talked about Terence Steel and how his knee may not be 100%. That may impact him in pass pro, but it's damn sure not impacting him in the run game. Because when he double teams with Zack Martin or with the tight end, they're moving people out of there, right? You can see the leverage, how low he gets, and just moving people back 3, 4, 5 yards like you see on this one. Of course, it's opened up some nice lanes. Let's get into the next rep. So when it comes to Tyler Biadasz, his biggest asset is his ability to reach. And this is a great example of that. I mean, an offensive lineman here just basically chased down an inside linebacker, right? Or he beat this inside linebacker to the spot. Mosley's really lined up to the inside shade of the guard, so Tyler Biadasz has a really hard reach to get to the left side of CJ Mosley. And in this one, he gets there. Look at the angle he takes. Like, he's literally sprinting to the left, right? And to me, this is part of what makes Tyler Biadasz a good center. It's part of why I actually really like him, especially in a zone-heavy run game like the Dallas Cowboys. It just makes a whole lot of sense. All right, very good run blocker, especially when it comes to reach blocking. Great job here, even by the tight end, to kind of kick his guy out. Guy goes to the inside, and he just steals him off. And just a really nice gain of 6 yards right there by the running back. You got an inside trap play here on the long 3 technique D tackle. And watch what Martin does to him. He's going to just kind of fake block him. You can see Terence Steel get the right arm, kind of push him into the ground. And this is a really nice job. I mean, TJ Bass doesn't have to block this guy. You see the running back just picks up 9 yards to the inside. That's a great job right there by the right guard, right tackle. Even the center does a good job covering here on the left guard. Just a really nice overall job. And this one picks up 9 yards, right? So to me, really nice job. Let's get into the next rep. Alrighty, guys, let's look at some negative runs. This one's going to lose 2 yards, and I think this is on the running back. And it's hard to 100% say it's on the running back, but it is on the running back. And I say that because if you guys watch Zack Martin pull and lead on this one, he's blocking the defensive end here, which means the run should be on the inside of him. And I know there's not really a whole lot of room to possibly cut back, but the play is not to the outside of him. So he has to cut this to the inside. Again, there's really nowhere to go, but he does lose 2 yards on this play. And it's because he's trying to get to the outside and the linebacker blows it up. Again, I know there's no lane and you can't really blame the running back for this one. But I did want to just point it out because you did lose 2 yards. And to me, the run should have been to the inside, not the outside. And I want to show you guys the other run by Tony Pollard. This one loses 5 yards. And that's because number 13, the wide receiver, Michael Gallup, just doesn't do a good job. To me, in order for these plays to work, you got to block down here. And Jalen Brooks would have made this block, in my opinion, if he was the guy tasked to block here. So again, Gallup has to do a better job. I don't know if you guys have followed this channel, but during training camp, we noticed the same exact thing with Gallup. He was not able to effectively make these down blocks. And again, this isn't the hardest thing on planet Earth to do. You already have leverage on this guy. You just got to get into him and hit him as hard as you can and really hold the block. So to me, Michael Gallup has to do a better job or he just won't play. And again, this one loses about 4 to 5 yards, and there's nothing the running back could have done, right? The second he touched the ball, he was already getting tackled. And I did want to just point that out because that really impacted the average per yards. And generally speaking, the O-line did do a pretty damn good job. So part of what makes Tony Pollard so elite is the ability to cut, right? The ability to see things, right? The vision. And this play right here pops for 7 yards, and you can see it. All right, you can see how insane of a cut this is. Pollard gets the ball, and look at how he's able to recognize that. I'm not going to be able to go this way because there's a guy standing here, but there's a crease over here. And then look at the crazy jump cut, bam, that he makes within this play. This one picks up about 6 to 7 yards. So that's elite stuff right there. That's a great job by Tony Pollard. Now, overall, in my opinion, the Dallas Cowboys have a top 7 to 10 offensive line. If left guard Tyron Smith is healthy, the potential for this O-line is through the roof. And I truly think this. As the offensive line continues to block in the Mike McCarthy play calling, right, the scheme that Mike McCarthy is going to do, and what I mean by that is things are blocked just a little bit differently under Mike McCarthy. So as the offensive line gets a little bit more comfortable with that, I think the potential is through the roof. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, consider subscribing. We will be covering the Cowboys specifically on this channel. We'll be looking at a lot of tape. I will get into some of the individualized guys like the Damone Clarks, the Deuce Vaughns. We'll do a couple more film breakdowns of TJ Bass as the season kind of progresses. And of course, as Tyron Smith gets back, we'll check in on him as well. So subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time with another video.